Yo, what is going on? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're breaking down the full card of Adesanya versus Imavov. Um, I do apologize, I missed out on the first two cards we're breaking down the start of this year, but we're back. And today we're gonna start off with the first fight in this card with Hamdy Abdelwahab versus Jamal Pogues. Now, with this fight, Hamdy here had a no count. Last fight, he did win, but he got a no contest against Dontal Mays. Did get a split decision, but I'm pretty sure he failed a drug test or something like that, so we ended up being a no contest. And going against someone like Hamdy, obviously his striking is okay. It's not the best, but he'll be looking for a lot of takedowns in this fight. And I think that's going to be effective here going against someone like Jamal Pogues, who is quite flat-footed. Kind of fights off the back foot at times, even his last fight showed it. And he's just not a very aggressive striker as well. So, look, the odds are quite near even because Hamdy's obviously only had like 3 fights, and Jamal Pogues here has had more UFC experience compared to Hamdy. So, yeah, community here is going with 56% with Hamdy, 44 Pogues, and my pick's going to be Hamdy as well. Also, next up on the card here is Bogdan Grad versus Lucas Alexander. With this matchup here, Bogdan Grad with his stand up, I kind of see like where he kind of like rushes in with a lot of his shots. He loads up on a lot of his punches as well, and he does. And in that last fight in the Contender Series, he was kind of gassing out a little bit there towards the end. He was very grappling heavy and wrestle heavy as well in that fight. And going against someone like Lucas Alexander he got knocked up by Jeka Saragi. I do actually remember that fight. He got flatlined pretty bad. And before that, had a win against Steven Petersen and lost to Johanderson Burrito. So he's going to be looking to chop the legs of Bogdan and try to keep it to stay in range. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird fight with this one because Lucas Alexander does kind of have more good experience compared to Bogdan Grad, but yeah, he has been sidelined for a year as well, and that knockout was pretty bad. So with this fight, I'm gonna go with Bogdan Grad. It's a low confidence pick because Lucas Alexander here has been sidelined for a bit as well. So look, Grad's a pick, and just not sure what Lucas Alexander's been working on since he got knocked out and also been sidelined for a year. So obviously most of that, how he got knocked out, I understand taking time to recover and healing up your brain and not coming and rushing in. So he's doing good in that department, so which is understandable. So yeah, Bogdan Grad is a pick there. Next up, we've got Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Mayra Bueno Silva. With this matchup here, Jasmine Jasudavicius, she's more of a stand-up striker who mixes up her wrestling a lot, so she'll be setting up a lot of the takedowns. And as you see with Mayra Bueno Silva, 2 losses. Her last loss, she had a pretty bad cut, and the doctor stopped it. She was taken down a lot too against Macy as well. She was on her back for a bit. She had no answers before that fight. Even the Raquel Pennington fight, she was having a decent first 2 rounds and started gassing out in the later rounds, which was not a good look. And also, she had that standing ninja choke against Holly Holm, but I think she failed a drug test on that one, and something to do with asthma or some shit puffer. I'm not going to get into that, but yeah, at the moment it's not really looking too good with Mayra Bueno Silva, but she does need to win this matchup here. So she's more of a Muay Thai striker, looking to chop the legs and use a clinch, use some knees and elbows against the fence. But again, she has been taken down a lot in the last couple of fights, and yeah, it hasn't been really looking good. And someone like Jasmine Jasudavicius, she's a moderate favorite here. Yes, she's going to be the girl that's a lot older in this matchup, 35 years old, but she's looking pretty good. Nice little win streak going on here, and the only loss she had was Tracy Cortez. So my pick is Jasmine Jasudavicius in this matchup here, 77% going for Jasmine, and Bueno Silva 23%. Next up, we've got Terrance McKinney versus Damir Hadžović. with this matchup here, Terrance McKinney, the UFC kind of, I would say, is a bit of an easier matchup because Damir here has been in the UFC for a while. He's almost pushing 39. He's coming up a loss too against Mark DeCasey. Mark DeCasey is not even in UFC. He's in the PFL now. And even in that last fight with Damir, he was taken down a lot. He had no answers for the takedowns against DeCasey. And his last win was a very, very long time ago, almost 4 years here against Yancy Medeiros. And Medeiros is pretty washed himself, so he's like in Bellator. I don't think he's even Bellator. I think they just call him. He's pretty much on. Well, Bellator's finished, so when he was fighting, he just when Bellator would call him up and ask him for a matchup here and there, he wasn't he wouldn't fight very often in Bellator when he did. So yeah. Anyways, going against someone like Terrance McKinney here, he's coming off a loss with a head kick, Esteban Ribovics. So before that, he was on a win streak there against Mayra with KO, Mike Beaton. So Terrance McKinney here, he was looking really good, knocking everyone out until he bumped into Drew Dober, and then Dober pretty much finished him off. But other than that, it's been up and down for Terrance McKinney here, and I'm just not sure what's going to happen to his career. I don't think he's going to be around for a while. He's still young, but he's taken a lot of knockouts too, as much as he was giving him in the UFC. So Terrance McKinney's the pick here, but he can't really lose this, man. Like, if he loses this matchup against Damir, I think the UFC will cut him. So everyone's going McKinney by knockout, same as me. I'm picking McKinney to get the knockout. Hadžović here 9% because it's completely washed. So if you can't really put on a nice highlight reel here, he's pretty much done, I think. Next up, we've got Shamil Gaziev versus Thomas Petersen. Shamil Gaziev here, striker, mixes up a lot of his grappling, also does look for his takedown. He did kind of get a little bit exposed in the Rozenstruik fight. He got retired. He was getting beaten up really bad in that matchup, so he had a win over Dontel Males here. And going against someone like Thomas Petersen, he's quite similar to in the way he strikes as well. He'll use a jab a fair bit and a lot of straight shots, and also look for his takedowns as well. So pretty similar styles in a way, but I'm just gonna go I just think that Shamil Gaziev's a little bit too much for Thomas Petersen, but Thomas Petersen lost to Jamal Pogues there. It's not a really good look either, that one. Had a win against Usman's ass. Muhammad Usman, sorry. And it's pretty similar matchup here for a heavyweight. More grapplers and wrestlers than strikers, to be honest. But I think Gaziev's going to be mixing up more of the strike and landing the bigger shots too in this matchup. So I'm going to go with Gaziev here, 93%, 7% Petersen. So if Petersen gets a win, I'll be I'll be shocked, to be honest. So Gaziev's a pick there. Next up, we've got Muhammad Naimov versus Kaan Ofli. Kaan Ofli here. He was on the Ultimate Fighter. Yes, he was. And he went in the finals and lost to Marone Santos there. Got knocked out. With this matchup here, Muhammad Naimov and Kaan Ofli, they got the similar sort of aggressive striking and mix up the takedowns. So Naimov here, he got submitted by Felipe Lima. That was his UFC debut on short notice there. Got the call up from Octagon and submitted Naimov here. So he's definitely a contender, looking to rise up the rankings in the UFC. So before that, Muhammad Naimov had a TKO leg injury over Eric Silva there. The fight lasted like 5 minutes, if that, and had a decisive win against Nathaniel Wood. So that was a pretty close matchup there. So yeah, he's going to mix up his strike, be aggressive striking, and look to get grappling and look to get the takedown. So there's going to be probably a lot of scrambles in this fight as well. But yeah, Kaan Ofli is similar as well. He's going to be doing the same thing. He pressure strikes and then looks for takedowns as well himself, and looks for more ground and pounds, and looks to set up submissions to himself. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is a bit of a tough matchup for Ofli as well. I think coming into the UFC first fight, that's a little bit tough there, I feel like, for him. So I'm going to go with Muhammad Naimov here, getting a win over Kaan Ofli. So yeah, hopefully 8%, 92% Naimov here. I just feel like it's a little slight matchup there. and I think hopefully, yeah, could have got a little bit of a. This is a pretty tough test to be honest, but if he pulls this off, hopefully I'll be surprised. So yeah, but I'm gonna pick Muhammad Naimov as well in this matchup. Next up, we got Ziam versus Mike Davis. I think this is a bit of a step down opponent for Ziam here, especially when he just finished off Frivola, and he should be getting someone a bit more high up in the rankings compared to Mike Davis, but I feel like this is a bit of a step down. But Mike Davis is no slouch as well, so with Ziam here, very tall for the division, uses a lot of leg kicks and uses a lot of jabs, stays in range, and also mixes up takedowns himself as well. And he went to war with Frivola in the last fight, but that head kick, knee to the head there. So, and against Claudio Pulis, he was taken down a fair bit in that fight. There didn't look too good, but yeah, it was a split decision that win there. But yeah, Claudio, he's okay. He doesn't really look the best, to be honest. So yeah, not a good look for Ziam there. And going against someone like Mike Davis, he will be the guy looking to mix up his striking and also getting takedowns. And he's got a nice submission win there against Nate Levy in his last fight. Triangle choke, and he's coming off an injury to himself. And yeah, before that, he was on some nice win streaks there. So interesting matchup, I understand. But yeah, like for Ziam, obviously should be getting a higher contender fight, but higher ranking matchup. But yeah, I understand what the UFC doing here. They're both very similar in the style. So Ziam is the pick here, but Mark Davis again, 35% going for Mark Davis, which is understandable. He is no slouch as well. So Ziam is my pick here. Next up, we've got Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. Said Nurmagomedov, he's more of a striker, very very awkward on the striking, sort of like the Usman, like, you know, chops legs, stays in range, throws a lot of leg kicks and a lot of side kicks, and mostly look for counters. And if the fight does hit the ground, he can actually grapple as well. But yeah, he had a loss to Jonathan Martinez. Yeah, so a lot of people thought Said won that. Fair enough, but yeah, Said's also dangerous too. He can set up some guillotine chokes when fighters try to set up some takedowns. So he's coming off a nice guillotine choke win there. And going against someone like Vinicius Oliveira, he fights with his hands down, chops to the legs, chops to the body, throws a lot of body kicks, and also looks for some counters himself too. And he's coming off a win there against Ricky Simone. Ricky Simone struggled to close the distance. I think he's almost past it too. He can't really hang with the UFC fighters anymore, caliber anymore by the looks of it. He had no answer for the striking and just really was trying to set more takedowns. So yeah, Nurmagomedov was a pick here, 62%, 38 by Oliveira. And my pick is Said Nurmagomedov in this matchup too. Also, I do apologize, the dog snoring in the back there. Next up, we've got Sergei Pavlovich versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. With this matchup here, nice strikers matchup. Sergei Pavlovich was coming off a lot of knockout wins, even in Curtis Blades. Then he bumped into Aspinall. He did got knocked out by Aspinall, but he did had some decent exchanges there before we got finished. Alexander Volkov couldn't close the distance. Volkov was chopping his legs apart, and yeah, just counter him, and yeah, he was pretty much just frustrated. Couldn't really pick what do you call it? Sorry, Volkov apart. He couldn't really touch Volkov at all in the matchup. Volkov was doing well, used his range, countered him a fair bit, and picked him apart with a lot of leg kicks as well. So Sergei didn't look too great in that fight there. And going against like the Jairzinho Rozenstruik, it's gonna kind of be the similar. Jairzinho will be more looking for counters, and he's more of a kickboxer, so he'll be chopping the legs apart, staying at range, and yeah, like I said, looking for counters. This is more of a striking matchup, so yeah, they both pretty much had a similar win, knocking out the same guys. But yeah, that was a nice win for Jairzinho there against Shamil Gaziev. Like I said before, lost to the guys that have been using a lot of the wrestling, like Jason Almeida. Chris Dawkins, and lost to Volkov too. So, yeah, I don't know. This is a bit of a tough matchup, to be honest. Underdog is Jairzinho, but yeah, you can't count him out as well. So 14% going on Jairzinho, 86% Pavlovich. If Pavlovich can't knock out Jairzinho, I feel like Jairzinho can get a nice decision win. But yeah, it will be a boring decision win as well. So it'll be more point fighting and chopping the legs apart and looking for counters. So yeah, but I'm going to pick Sergei Pavlovich here, but I'm not too confident on it. Next up, we've got Shara Magomedov versus Michael Page. Michael Page is getting a little bit older too, almost 38 years old. So with this matchup here, Shara Magomedov on a win streak. He had a double spinning back fist against Petersen. It was a nice knockout. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. Came out of the blue. Had a win against Michelle there. Antonio Trocoli, the last minute there with Trocoli. So he's a guy who'll be looking to chop the legs, looking for counters himself, staying on the back foot, and working on the outside there. So more of a point fighter. Well, yeah, also gets knockouts too. So his first fight, he did get taken down, Shara, so he didn't really look good there. But yeah, since then he's avoided the takedown. So, but there's not gonna be any takedowns in this matchup. So I feel like the output with Shara is gonna be really the key here against Michael Page. Michael Page, well, it is hard to close the distance on Michael Page as well. So Kevin Holland, you've seen struggle with that. You got a win over Kevin Holland there, and lost to Ian Machado. Machado took him, Michael Page down, and really just didn't want to strike with him, and just want to lay on the floor with him and cuddle him. So Michael Page doesn't really throw too much output, but he does well to stay out of range and also look for that knockout there. Yeah, so it's going to be more out if Shara can close the distance. I think Michael Page will be pushing the pace, to be honest, for this fight. I don't know. It's a very tricky one. Yeah, so you got Shara there winning more by output, Michael Page there looking for the knockout. So, and also, yeah, he's gonna mix up some leg kicks on him this matchup too. So he hasn't really used them much even against Holland there. So yeah, tricky matchup, 50-50 matchup, 47% with Magomedov, 53% by Michael Page. Michael Page could hurt him pretty bad, Shara. But I'm going to go with the guy with the output, 47% Magomedov. I'm going to go with Magomedov here. But I could see Michael Page hurting him too in this matchup. So it could go either way. Next up, we've got the main event, Israel Adesanya versus Nassourdine Imavov. With this matchup here, Israel's coming off 2 back-to-back losses here on Strickland and Dricus du Plessis. And with that last fight there, Israel Adesanya, he probably was winning. He was winning some rounds there. He was doing well with his striking, and yeah, just got caught with a submit, got taken down, submitted. So, but there's also one thing I've noticed, and I know probably a lot of people would disagree with me, but this is my opinion on it. On his last fight, he did look good in his striking, but his footwork and his movements looked really off. Like he looked a bit slow. He looked like that the speed wasn't there with his footwork and his movement. So I feel like he's starting to get past his prime a little bit. But again, like I said, he was doing very well with his striking. He looked very sharp. And but yeah, like I said, his footwork and his movement looked a bit slow in that fight. So going against someone like Nassourdine Imavov, Imamov's on a win streak here. With Brendan Allen and Jared Cannonier. Cannonier's past his prime, and Rome Delito. So with Imavov here, you can't really count him out. He does have some power in his hands as well. Guy likes he more closes distance and puts more pressure striking on. And he does slow down later rounds, so that may be key as well for Adesanya, where Imavov can get a bit sloppy there towards the end of the rounds and fade away. But Imavov does also have where in the back pocket where he can get some takedowns and even very good with jiu-jitsu. So there's also a note in the interview where Israel Adesanya said he wanted to kind of show off his jiu-jitsu a bit there, and Robert Whittaker said that he was very surprised how good Israel Adesanya's jiu-jitsu was in that when it was training with him. So we might see a little ground game here if Imavov can get this fight on the ground, but again, it's not easy to take Israel down as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a hard matchup, this one. I feel like Israel probably would be a little bit of a better striker, but again, like I said, footwork and movement was a little bit off in his last fight there. So it's going to be a very, very interesting matchup. Yeah, if it gets to the 4th or 5th, I feel like Adesanya could take this fight, because Imavov does like slow down a bit in the later rounds from what I've seen. So Adesanya 77, Imavov 23. I'm gonna go with Adesanya here, but I can't really count out Imavov as well, so I will go with Adesanya in this matchup, but because I feel like Imavov can slow down later rounds. But yeah, I think Imavov's gonna have to get Adesanya out of there by 3 rounds, but I don't think it will happen. So Adesanya's a pick here. But anyways, guys, those all were my picks today for this card. A little bit of a late upload, but that's fine. Like, at least I'm now got back to doing what I do. I will upload this probably later on in the week, and I will now break down that Strickland Duplessis versus Strickland card as well. So anyways, guys, yeah, hit the like and subscribe, and we'll be back with that UFC 312 card. Cheers, guys.